New guy.
In about 2025.
Posaausie. Go ahead.
I say what I need to say. Wholly delusional.
Holy delusional Batman. What's up, my friend? It's
Why do we have
2025 and
flat
people are
Earth?
saying the Earth is flat. Are you upset or something?
Well, why do we have flat Earthers in 2025? Like,
Because there are people in the world who measure the surface of the Earth, and when we measure the surface of the Earth, it's flat. Funny.
you're fucking delusional. Oh my god.
So,
No,
hold on.
There's
Dude,
no way.
you're saying that I'm delusional, and all I've said is that we measure the surface of water to be horizontal. It's like, wow.
Mate.
You don't think the surface of water is horizontal?
Mate, you're fucking cooked.
I mean, where do we even get horizontal from, dude? If it's not the surface of the Earth.
Good.
You okay?
Oh my god.
What's your rebuttal to this, Ozzy? What do you think the Earth is, dude? And if you have any evidence, it seems ridiculous, but we're involved with critical thinking, and if you can't think for yourself, it seems like maybe you've been given a story.
I've been given a story. Well,
Yeah.
Aren't we all given a story? Do you think anyone actually goes, like, you think anyone this fucking voice chat's gone out there and researched themselves? We've all been given a story of a study.
Right.
You know?
So how can you validate that story or that claim?
I don't fucking remember. But
so are you telling us, are you telling this panel that you're just a believer in the story, that you don't, there's no way to validate it?
There's ways to validate it. I just don't have them with me right now because I didn't come to the call to fucking talk about it. I just came to the call to say the delusion.
It's a waste of what? Yeah, I know. It seems that way on the onset because you've been told this story your whole life. So you think it's a globe and you just mocking and snickering, but you don't really know if it's a globe or not. That's the truth. You don't know that.
Literal photos of outside of Earth.
Yeah, how can you validate those photos, Ozzy?
How can you validate anything? Did we really land on the moon?
Well, that's the problem. Isn't that the issue? But isn't that the issue? What you just said.
You can make.
Isn't that the issue?
If you really want to go deep enough.
No, it's not a conspiracy. It's an unsubstantiated claim. They're showing you images of the Earth in a way that you've never seen it. So how can you substantiate that? You've never seen it look like that ever. Yet you believe it because someone told you.
Like a globe.
Yeah. Yes.
What do you mean we've never seen it like that before?
You've never seen the Earth in that way, ever.
Yeah, well, the photos show us that it is that way. So
I know that. It's just like I could show you, a photo of something that you've never seen in reality, and I could say that just exists.
So
how can you prove that?
You think there's an ice wall around the fucking Earth?
No, I think that image of the Earth looking like a globe does not exist. The Earth looking like that, you could never see it that way.
Yeah, and why would people lie about the Earth being a globe? What the fuck do you?
Well, it's not about a lie. It's about you not being able to verify the very thing you think you believe is true. Okay, you believe the Earth is a globe.
Tell me why you think the Earth is flat. Because why would
that's simple.
For it to be flat?
Yeah, that's simple. Water measures a horizontal and flat on its surface when in large bodies.
Why? So why would most scientists point to the?
Well, think about it, right? I just said something, and you can't rebut what I just said. I said water is horizontal.
I told you I can't because I'm not knowledgeable enough in this fucking conversation to give you all the facts and details. I know you're going to say, oh, then you're just going off other people's research. Sure, I am. But what I trust the
I didn't say that, but
I trust. Yeah, well, you said before that I can't think for myself. Blah yada yada.
Well, I want you to. That's what this whole thing's about, Ozzy. It's not about like us getting a W because we're coming in here and showing you something you don't know. It's reigniting the passion for critical thinking, which is like hopefully it inspires you to look into this more. Whether it does or not, I mean, I hope it does. But right now you have this preconceived notion that the Earth is a globe based on what you've been given, the information you've been given, and we're just showing you. Yeah, we're just showing you, man. It's not that. Like in any way, you can't test anything that they give you. In other words, it's like a good story that someone said, but it's not true. It's just a fantasy.
Okay, but tell me why would the government and all these people lie about the Earth being flat?
Well, it's not a lie. They believe it just like you do, man. Think about it. The guy that goes to work at NASA and he's, works at a desk or a computer, hey, he just thinks he's doing a job based on the Earth being what it is, a globe, in his mind. He doesn't think that he's lying to you when he's presenting information to you.
No, but then someone is obviously lying. Not everyone's in a fucking state of illusion.
Yeah, I get it. But then, companies have departmentalization. They have departments. And if you're the head of all the departments, then you're in the know. The rest of the people in the company do not know. They're just on a need to know basis. This is the way corporations operate, dude. Like, standard procedure.
Yeah, but from the top, someone obviously knows that the Earth's a globe. Like, why would
that might be the case. That might be the case. But the information itself about what the Earth is substantiated by you being everybody else that's on the Earth.
Yeah, but the research that we do on the Earth would have to represent a globe to be accurate for the studies, would it not?
What do you mean? Like what type of research?
If someone is doing research on the Earth,
involving
a globe, what if they're?
Well, let's look into that.
Globe.
Let's look into that, because I think there may be some idea that you can't draw back to. I don't think there is, but do you think there's any research that leads people to the knowledge that the Earth is? Like, could you name one type of research
that would prove
that makes people, globe? Well, or at least makes them think it's a globe? It doesn't have to prove it, but
you can search up a fucking video and they give you multiple reasons as to why. But I can't give you that now because I don't fucking research why the Earth's a globe every single day, because it's just a general fact.
It's not a fact, dude. That's the problem.
It's a fact.
No, it's not a fact, and it's funny to you because you think it is. It's not, dude. I would challenge you to actually propose how it's a fact. How is it a fact?
Because the freaking people have proven it's a fact. What?
Who, dude?
I told you I don't know because I can't give you names.
So you don't know who's proven it's a fact, yet you think it's a fact. How is it a fact then, if you don't know who's proven it or how it's been proven?
You can say that about any theory.
No, I'm saying it about the Earth being a globe. Ozzy.
Yeah, I'm saying. You could ask me.
Yeah, dude, you're not. A fact presented without evidence can be dismissed without evidence. That's like a normal view on science.
That's just a normal view. It's not really. That's not too provocative, right? That's just normal. I mean, even if you think the Earth is a globe, if somebody was to say like, "Oh, you're not presenting any evidence," well, how can we even, entertain this if there's no evidence to be presented? Obviously, if somebody that thinks the Earth's a globe and does present evidence, that would be something, right? But this is really nothing that you're going on to why you think the Earth is a globe.
If I just did a quick Google search right now, it would give me reasons as to why. Do you want me to do that? Would that give you something?
You can do whatever you want. Honestly, like, it used to be the case where we would argue with people about, like, dude, you're just doing the research now. Like, you've been having this preconceived notion that you think the Earth's a globe this whole time, and now you're just doing the research. So, in other words, you've carried a belief all the way till right now. But honestly, I do want to give you the benefit of the doubt. Like, I want you to look into it. So, if you want to, you could look up ChatGPT, you could look up Google, wherever you want, dude. Wherever you want to go.
For instance, why would people want to research something that has just been accepted as a fact?
It's because people have been, like a tradition, carrying this belief. So as a tradition goes, right, the Earth is a globe, it's spinning in the vacuum of space, it's hurtling through the cosmos, and all this kind of good stuff, right? It's got a lot of little tidbits of information that make it sound like it's a good idea, right? Okay. But there's no way that you can look it up. I
got a question though. So you think the Earth is flat, correct? You think it's just a flat?
Yes.
Okay, so what about every other planet in the solar system? You think they're all flat as well?
No. Okay, so planets are basically the information to substantiate the word planet. You got to look it up definitionally. So what describes what a planet is? You can look it up. Honestly, I want you to actually do this while we're talking.
When we landed on the moon, you probably don't believe that either, do you? When we landed on the moon and they had those photos and it was flat from the perspective of the ground, would you say now the moon's flat as well?
Yeah, but what's in contention? We could talk about moon landings and all that, but I'd rather you just stick to the Earth for the moment. Because this, and pun intended, it'll ground you. It'll give you a solid foundation. 2 puns. Wow. It'll give you a solid foundation to work with. So start with the Earth, and then if you want to talk about moon, we can do that later. But try to figure if there's any information on Google or ChatGPT that can give you any indication that that you're on a globe. I'm just challenging you, dude. Like at the end of the day, like whether you walk away from here, dude, just indulge me, yeah.
It's so
Just this once. Yeah, I know. It seems like a knuckle dragging, like going backwards, dumpster fire, whatever you want to call it. Just indulge me this once, yeah? You've never done this. You probably won't ever do it again. Once you leave here, you'll take the blue pill and this will be a bad dream. You'll wake up and everything will be globish again and, you'll live in a global vernacular, world where everybody's saying globe this and globe that. But just one moment in time, dude. Just look it up.
I'll give you one piece of something here. Observation of the Earth's shadow during a lunar eclipse. The shadow cast on the moon is always round, which is consistent with a spherical Earth. If the Earth were flat, the shadow would not consistently appear as a circle.
Okay, well, I mean, if the Earth is flat, is not a part of that. So if somebody was actually giving that information to you to show you that the Earth is a globe, then you have to ask questions that would lead to critical thinking. As in, I see a shadow or something, right, occurring. There's an event that's occurring. It's called a lunar eclipse. What's causing the shadow? That'd be a question you'd be asking, right? What's causing the shadow? If you're looking at this event, then I would ask you, if that shadow is the Earth, how do you know that? Ozzy.
Okay. I was gonna fucking say something before.
Yeah, did you hear what I said though? Like, is that not what somebody that's inquiring what's going on? You see an event happening, you see a shadow. Do you know if it's the Earth doing that?
Okay, but I got a question before that.
Can you answer? I mean, dude, I'm looking for honesty here. I'm looking for honesty.
I'd already told you. I don't look into this shit.
Now, are you gonna be honest with one moment in time?
I'm not.
Just once, dude. Okay, so yeah. Oh, okay. Well, let's test that. If you're looking at the shadow on a lunar eclipse, can you tell me for sure that it's the Earth?
I've never looked at a lunar eclipse.
Well, that's what you were just talking about, isn't it? The shadow on the moon.
I just told you though. I just brought up something.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to tell you, you've never seen a lunar eclipse in your life.
No.
Okay, but you know what you just told me what you were talking about, you know what that is or no?
No, actually, you literally just said give you something, and that's what I did.
Oh, you don't know what a lunar eclipse is? Okay, well that's fine.
No, I just haven't seen one.
Well, let's go to something that you actually know. How about that? Because that didn't help you any.
Okay, well, I got a question. Why, when you look at all the information to prove the Earth's a globe online, do you just say no? I don't fucking.
Like what? Give me one thing.
Yeah, but like if you just searched it up, if you look through the.
Give me one, Ozzy. I'm challenging you. Give me one thing.
Oh my god.
Give me one.
Fuck's sake. Okay.
Give me one thing that would state that the Earth is a globe in any way.
What about when a ship sails off to sea?
Okay, I'm gonna ask you because before I just went into explaining and you didn't even know what a lunar eclipse was. Do you know what that means? What you're reading?
I think I can understand what that means when a ship.
Are you sure? Because when I start talking about it, you can be like, "I've never seen that. I don't know what that is." Like,
just say it. And we'll see what you're gonna say. Just go.
Well, how do you know it's the Earth? Like doing this phenomena.
Well, wouldn't it just be basic? Like when if the ship keeps going, you no longer see it at eye view. It would be pretty obvious that the ship is no longer on a flat surface. Because if it was,
how do you? Yeah, but how do you know that? Like, how do you know it's not on a flat surface?
The Earth is not flat. Because
how do you know that it's proving that? Like, give me the because the way that you're logically connecting that.
Because you still be able to.
Yeah. But what if it's just an optical phenomena?
Okay, explain. I'll give you some work.
I'll give you some examples. There's miraging effects called superior mirage or inferior mirage. But in this case, I would use superior mirage as the effect of choice. And I would use stooping as the effect of choice. So a stooping, superior mirage. So you can look that up, what I just said. A superior mirage, there's 5 effects I think it's one of them is stooping. And when you inquire, like, well, when I see something in the distance and I see something happening, I could use this optical phenomena to say that's what I'm looking at. So stooping, as far as superior mirage effects go, would be the case of like when you see that occur. And it doesn't happen always. It happens sometimes, but not always.
You can see from my point of view is like, why would I waste my time researching something when I can research?
No, I don't. I think here's the thing. A lot of people have been brought up with certain ideas in their mind, and everything that goes against that is like foolish to them, which is fine. You can think that way. But you're not giving critical thinking a chance. Your mind is not able to contemplate ideas that maybe you can see if they're true or not. You can discard them if they're not true. But if they're true, it would stand to reason that you're just being ignorant.
I think the world was a lot more simpler when people were just fucking told to shut up, to be honest.
Really? You want to be ruled by a dictatorship where you don't think and you're just a robot?
No,
I think that's cool.
I think most people shouldn't think because the ideas are very dangerous.
Why?
This is a dangerous idea because it's just a
how?
It's called dangerous idea because it's just
how is it dangerous?
Yeah,
hold on, Kurt. Let me just. I want to.
Just bullshit, man. Like,
I want to know. I want to know how this is dangerous.
I know you're gonna keep saying that because you call yourself educated on this topic, and I'm not. So it's easy for you to just go at me with it, whatever you want.
No, I'm not. The thing is that I'm not really going at you at the moment. I'm just asking you questions. To give you
I obviously won't know the answer to because I don't research this at all, and it'll be an easy.
No. Well, yeah, you don't know the answer, but you should at least be curious as to why you don't know the answer. That should be throwing up some red flags to you.
Yeah,
if you think this is dangerous, talking about this, I want to know what's the danger. Show me the danger.
Because it's just lies. It's just bringing lies.
How?
Just lies.
You make your case. Make your case. Critique what I'm saying as in something that's dangerous.
I'm not here.
Make your case.
Particularly make a case. I'm just here to say.
So how is it dangerous if you're just carte blanche saying that it's dangerous and you're not giving me a reason why?
I told you why it's dangerous because it's
why?
Because it's not the truth.
That's circular. Yeah. How do you know that? I want to know how you know it's not the truth. Like, can you tell me how it's not?
Sorry, what'd you say?
How is it not the truth? The Earth is flat.
Because it's been proven that it's not multiple times.
How is it proven? Or we're going in a circle.
You're going to say...
how is it proven?
I already gave you like two things to work off. A lunar eclipse.
Well, one of the lunar eclipse you don't know anything about. Remember, you just said that off your own...
It's still an idea that goes against your point.
What? No, it's not. It doesn't, dude.
Because it's
evidence. It's sky phenomena. It has nothing to do with the ground. So it doesn't go against my point. My point is the Earth that you're standing on is flat. The sky phenomena is doing whatever it's doing. So it doesn't go against me, dude.
I think it does, because it's a point brought up many times as to why the Earth...
Yeah, so what? So what? A lot of people bring up claims that are not true many times. So it doesn't make them true.
Okay, then what about your points as to why you believe the Earth is flat?
Yeah, my point is that water is horizontal on its surface, and it extends out.
You can give me though.
Well, what else do you want? Like the water is horizontal on its surface, and it extends out to every direction, and for miles and miles on end of flat water. And according to the globe, they're telling you the Earth is covered in about 75% water. So you got nothing but flat water covering the Earth, and you got people thinking that the Earth is a globe, and there's no way to make that turn into a globe if you have flat water. That's a lot of flat water.
Okay, well, I don't believe that.
You don't have to, dude. It's just physics. We're talking about hydrostatic equilibrium. So water at rest will display no convexity on its surface when in large quantities.
Funny, because you use big words to make your point sound like...
It's physics, brother. Like, it's not big words. This is just... No, if you study this a little bit, you'll find out for yourself. It's all to do with the way water behaves. Yeah, the mechanics of water. It's very
hard to believe people are very passionate about the Earth being flat. Flat. Okay, let's just say for a second here, the Earth is flat. What the fuck does it change?
It changes your philosophical interpretation of what where you came from and how you got here.
Look,
It could change. Well, I'm giving you reasons, brother. I mean, I'm really just telling you. So it could change how you perceive governments telling you what to do and when to do it, because you're not going to be like a robot saying or thinking in your head, well, we're running out of resources, so I'm going to join a war that's going to, take over some resources because we need them. Our country needs them. So you're going to be like, dude, we're not running out of anything. It's not overpopulated. We're not going to be a dying planet. Like, all of that stuff is like scare tactics, bro. You don't have to be led by those. Take a knee, Cosmos. I saw you on mute. Take a knee. Take a knee.
I think some
Go ahead.
people can. If I was gonna fucking say now, bro, like,
No, please go ahead.
why do you, regardless or not, I think most people already don't trust the government, so I don't think that would actually change a thing, to be honest. People are very skeptical of the government anyway. People don't want to go to war anyway. This wouldn't really change anything.
It's an overgeneralization.
Yeah, I mean, it changes how you perceive, where you came from and how you got here. It changes, like, it basically, and I'm using this pun a lot, but it grounds you, right? It gives you a reality in which you can discern things to be true and some things to be mysteries. So you don't have to always just, float around and just think like you can't know anything. And people that are, in education, they know more than you. They're the scientists. You're just a peon. You don't know anything. You don't have to take that point of view anymore. You could be somebody that's in the know. You could know the earth that you're on right now. So it gives you a relationship with the earth, and it doesn't keep you disconnected, as in, you're not smart enough to understand.
You like the theory because it makes you feel smart.
No, it connects you to the earth. It doesn't you have knowledge basically of the earth. You're not just like discombobulated away from the earth. Like, as if I was to ask you, you're like, I don't know anything. So the globe earth has given you a position where it leaves you holding the bags. You can't rebut anything I say because globe earth hasn't given you a methodology of how to describe what the earth is as a globe.
Yeah, because
it's just a fantasy, dude.
We're not taught that in school. Because
I know that.
Knowledge.
No, it's not general knowledge. It's a foregone conclusion that it's a general knowledge.
Yeah, it's not general knowledge as to why we can prove that's a globe, but it's just general knowledge that it is a globe, and that's full stop.
Yeah. Well, no. Knowledge would mean that something that you've obtained that you could understand
It is
of what it is.
It's a fact.
It's not a fact, Ozzy. It's not a fact, dude. The fact that you're saying it's a fact, it's not a fact.
It's a fact taught by most people within society.
Yeah, well, why would they teach something that they can't present to you in a way that you can tell people how you know what it is? Like, obviously, if it's a fact, you'd be able to tell me how it's a fact. But it's just apparent. Yeah, it's apparent to me that even that you say that they say it's a fact doesn't make it a fact, because you can't even tell me how it's a fact. So how is it a fact?
Because very smart educators have already proven that it's a fact.
Yeah, very smart, educated people, but you are not one of those, right? You're not one of those very smart, educated people?
Apparently not.
Okay, so that makes you what? Inferior to those guys, right? You're living in a world where you're just an inferior human being.
I can think for myself.
So you're, bro,
can I?
It's a system of it's a system of control and hierarchy, right? So they got you under their thumb. And as long as they hold you to the fact that you're just a dumb guy, you don't know anything, you can't perceive the earth as the way it really is, and you're like a little amoeba on a beach ball or whatever it is, then you're going to continue to feel downtrodden. And you're going to only appeal to a religious idea of the earth being a globe. Oh, why is it a globe? I don't know, because it's a fact, because it's a globe. Like, bro, just like you're chanting like a religious person would, without having any knowledge.
So you look at anything and you just want to start researching it because, I need more.
Why not?
King.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, because I'm gonna have time to do all that, mate. Like, we don't have time to just fucking start.
Oh my
no, I mean, not having the time. Not having the time is a cop out, bro. You're in a server right now where we're doing the very thing you say you don't have time for. Right now, we're doing that. Very thing.
I don't want to devote my... Okay, I have things I want to research, but I want to devote my time specifically to this because I don't think it's important to me enough.
Okay, so you've regulated the idea that the Earth is a globe. Hold on, Cairo. Hold on. You've regulated the idea that the Earth is a globe to essentially a belief system, is what you're telling us right now here in this server, in this room. You've regulated. You put it in a corner of your mind where, like, I don't have to look at this,
exactly,
because I already know it's a globe. So I move past that.
Exactly.
That's you, but you haven't moved past that because you don't even know if it's one. You don't know if it's a globe. So how have you moved past the things you thought you moved past already?
The thing is, right, I could research it for a day, and I could say to myself with confidence, "Oh yeah, I have facts and evidence, and as to why I believe it's a globe."
No, you have a confirmation, bro. Ozzy, you have a confirmation bias. If you read an answer that somebody says, "Oh, of course it's a Earth is a globe because we have shadows on the moon," to you that's like, "Oh, good, yep, I'm good, all good. It's a globe." Dude, that's what you do. You've just looked up. You've looked up two things you presented to me, and you're like, "Yeah, well, there you go. There's two facts right there. Why are you denying that?" And like, dude, without any question, you didn't know what a lunar eclipse is. You have never seen one, and the boats missing the bottom of the boats. You know, you're just like, "Well, that's evidence right there." You're just accepting anything that confirms your bias, dude. You're not critiquing it, like, really.
Because it should,
which is what I'm asking.
A bias. It's fucking bullshit, man.
Yeah, like, it's funny to you, dude, because we're having this conversation.
It be a debate. That's what I'm trying to say to you.
Really?
It even be a debate.
Well, it's not a. Yeah, you're right. I'll say you said one thing right. It's not a debate because if it was, then you'd actually have evidence to then rebut what I have.
I'm trying to say to you, it's not a debate.
Yeah. So therefore, because you don't have any evidence and I do. It looks like I'm just telling you like it is, and you're not.
I know I look like an idiot in this call right now, and I fucking...
No, it's not. It's not that you're an idiot, bro.
Like, I'm into this call. No, because I've come into this call with... I knew I was going to get fucking pounded like this because I don't have anything to bring to the conversation in regards to evidence. But I'm just fucking saying, I believe...
Do you think somebody else could do better than you?
Illusion.
Ozzy, I've challenged PhDs, cosmologists, astrophysicists. I've challenged them personally. I've talked to these guys. I've talked to pilots. I've talked to people in the military. Anyone who you can think of that might know the information you think would solidify the Earth being a globe. I've talked to all those people. Nobody knows, Ozzy. No one knows, bro.
Yeah,
I'm telling you right now. These guys that you might put on a pedestal, you talk to a scientist. You know, there isn't one of those guys that will come here and say, "Okay, guys, let me tell you how the Earth is an actual globe."
Okay, but
that guy doesn't exist, dude.
If you talk to a guy who researched it, would you not get a different answer?
Well, he's just told you he speaks. Sorry, Alpha. He's just told you he speaks to the guys who are supposed to research it. He's just told you that. The people that
how do they not know then? If they,
I'll tell you this way. Yeah, I'll tell you this way. What they say is that the PhDs and such, the academics, right? All they say is that this is their best guess. That's really all they say. They don't go any farther into it other than that. So they'll tell us, well, we come up with a good educated guess. This is what we say in academia because we can never know anything to be true. The science doesn't work that way. And they say this. And of course, once I finish saying what I just said, you're going to reaffirm what they said. And you'll say, yeah, of course. That's how science works. We can never know anything. Yeah. So basically...
Don't we have one academia saying, a PhD saying that, well, at best you have falsified the radio something?
Leaps of logic.
Yeah, I mean, it's never going to come down to where they say, yeah, we know the Earth is a globe that's settled, we moved on. It sounds like that's what you're saying. They haven't said that, Ozzy. You're actually, you're in a state of belief about the globe, but your belief is solidified 100%, as it is an actual globe for sure, 100%. There's nothing going to move you from that. These silly flat earthers are just making nonsense noise on the internet. And you love to have a good laugh. Well, but you don't really know if it's a globe, bro.
Okay, if you really want me to go research this, I can, and I'll be back.
Yeah, sure. I mean, honestly, I would like you to, but I mean, if you don't and you go watch Netflix, that doesn't bother me. I'm still gonna do what I do.
You think I just
honestly?
Netflix?
Yeah, usually people do. They make empty claims. Go ahead, Jedi.
All I was going to say is, at the end of the day, we're just asking you to challenge your own beliefs. That's it.
Yeah, I mean,
and I've basically just said to you, I don't really have any more beliefs other than the Earth is a globe.
Well, this is like
maybe challenge that.
Yeah, I can't.
It's a beginning, dude. It's a start. Like once actually you go through it, you find out when you start critically thinking about the world around you, that there's a lot more that you don't know. A whole lot more. It basically turns into not just the Earth being flat, but it's a lot more of subjects that are involved with that. But it's like I said, it's a person who's critically thinking about the world around them will not be fearful in asking questions. I mean, heck, if you don't know something, you don't know it. But I mean, if it's truly not known, Ozzy, that they don't know if the Earth is a globe, that will shock you, at least a little bit. If I'm thinking it should, but you might be like, who cares? Yeah, I gotta go to work tomorrow anyway, so I don't really care about this.
There's no way these. There's no way these people in the chat are actually real. What the fuck?
Yeah, because it's not often that we hear somebody who's just. I mean, you're not really somebody who's combative, but there's people that take your position. And like earlier today, some guy told me that he wanted me to, basically end myself. But because of this, yeah. So it can trigger emotions that make somebody feel very upset. It's not always the case that we get somebody that's.
I'm not upset, man.
Bit charitable.
I'm just gonna prove you wrong. That's
what I would like. Go ahead. That's a good way to go. If you're gonna do it that way.
Fighting words.
This is gonna be so much fun.
It is. I'm looking forward to it, dude. This is going to be so much fun.
Don't get Jedi's hopes up high, dude, and then you don't come back, dude. He's gonna get dressed and everything.
I'm going to fucking shave.
Yeah, he's gonna shave for this, dude. So if he's gonna do that, don't stand him up. All right.
Oh man.
It's like getting ready for a date, man. Don't stand people up. Be a man of your word. If you say you're gonna do it, do it. If not, don't.
Yeah, not today though, because I'm fucking.
Ah, dude. There you go, Jedi. I guess you have to make a dinner date.
He's Australian. It's late.
It's fucking nearly 10 minutes to 12. I got work tomorrow.
10 minutes to 12. What's going on?
Fuck off. I get up early. I work a trade.
No, you're fine, buddy. You're fine.
Yeah, we're just
going to your job and shit.
Oh my gosh.
I tell you the percentage though. Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm just excited for this guy to go and do some research and come back and prove it. This is what these conversations are about, dude. You come in here with your evidence that you think that you've got for the Earth being a globe, and us challenging that and seeing where we end up. So it's always good fun. I'm looking forward to it.
These are the conversations that I like having. I like people to say, you know what, I'm going to prove you wrong. And I'm like, hit me with your best shot.
It's like literally, honey, hold my beer.
Yeah.
You'll see me on this call in 23 hours.
No doubt.
All right, let's see. Let's write it down. The man said 23 hours.
Lunchtime tomorrow. Well, breakfast time for you, lunchtime for me.
And I'll bring up everything. And I know you still won't believe. I know you still.
No, like
beliefs. It's not about beliefs, dude.
Do a deep dive.
I already set a calendar date.
Sorry, go on.
Okay, then. Well, I'll see you in 23 hours.
Yeah, no worries, man. All right, everybody's got a dinner date now. We got 23 hours. At least we got one good conversation. All right, here's what I was gonna say, but he dipped out. My money's on that he's not coming back. That's what I got. I got my money on. He's not gonna come back.
Well, if he's a creature of routine and it's going to be late night for him before he goes to bed, he's got fuck all else to do, then he might not have an excuse. So I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that he'll return with something that he'll cobble together with ChatGPT and Google. So I'm hopeful that he'll come back with that.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not hopeful that he's going to prove fuck all. Do you know what I mean?
You could bring the Persian army, dude. It's not going to help you, not even a little. The whole world. Yeah. But he made those them's fighting words, right? Like,
definitely. I'll come back tomorrow and I'll preview.
You know, that's the old fighting spirit, dude. That's what we used to live for, man. Back in the old days, man.
I'm going on mute.
All right, Cosmos. Yeah, I did. I was.
Yeah, I was just about to do it. That's good. I was just scrolling through the chat whilst you were talking, man, seeing if you got anybody new that was in.
Yeah. Shout out to APOC. What's up, APOC?
What's up, dope? I'm just talking
sliding in, man.
Yeah, I'm just talking to the idiot on the side chat. He should have been permabanned, but they just gave him 2 days. He violated TOS the other day. So I'm just talking on the side chat. Cosmos, the idiot.
Oh, dude, is the case for the Earth being a globe, and you got 3 bodies that are in alignment. You know, you don't even have that because the impossible eclipse, the Selenian eclipse, throws that into question. So there's a lot to be desired when it comes. No, not even that. Like, because first of all, you're trying to correlate that the Earth is causing the shadow on the lunar eclipse, and like CB was saying, even if it was a shadow, like you don't know that, but even if that was the case, like you still need to determine how you know it's the Earth doing that. How did you get there? There's a lot of assumptions, dude. Like, and you're standing on assumptions. You got to get back to the premise. How did we establish that the Earth is an actual sphere to then say that sphere is causing that shadow? You know, like I give you problems too. Like I was saying, you got a complex curve when you have 2 spheres, one casting a shadow on another. You're not going to have a straight, nice little curve like you do.
So what I'm specifically talking about, though, is that you have consistencies in the sun. X happens every time sorry, hold on.
You said it was inconsistent.
I have to get my thoughts together now. Things happen at the same time every single year. Yeah, I think. Things happen at the same time every year. So you can say that once a year at this time, Alaska falls into darkness for 33 days. Or is it 66 days? I think it's 66.
Yeah.
But also you have the inconsistencies of the moon and the sun having solar and lunar eclipses. They're predictable, however, they're not consistent.
That's not an inconsistency. Listen. So everything works like a clock, right? It's cyclical in nature. Some cycles are greater than others, right? But it doesn't matter because they happen to do it like whatever cycle they're on. Either like it goes from small to the greatest cycle, but each one of these cycles are within each other. They can happen. They can cross each other at certain times, right? So the event occurs when there's a crossing of that event, like where the certain thing happens, right? So it doesn't not necessarily mean that they're caused by the bodies in the sky. Like you can't say the moon's doing this or the sun's doing this or the Earth's doing this because you didn't determine that. You're just assuming it because you see something in the sky and then you're saying, well, I think it's the moon causing the occultation or the Earth is causing that. But we're seeing a shadow.
Yeah. Are you guys?
These are all assumptions.
Or by retardedness?
Right, but what I'm trying
That's not an argument.
The point that I'm trying to make here is that
that's a stupid question.
When you have these 2 things that function on their own cycle, when you function on their own cycle, that means there's going to be consistency across what happens when. So the sun does this, the moon does that. That means every year at this time, X, Y is going or Z is going to happen. X plus Y.
Yeah, but we're not going on it. That's a problem, though. We're not going on a yearly basis. The sun's on a yearly basis, right? The cycle that it goes on. but the other events that occur are not happening on that cycle. They're not on a yearly basis. They happen so many years, like in between. So you get what I mean? There's bigger cycles that the events occur on. These like lunar and solar eclipses happen on bigger cycles than just a yearly and monthly cycles. Yeah, you get what I mean? Like the events that occur.
Right, but we do know this because there are moon phases that happen consistently. But
yeah, so what? But the events happen consistently too. So they're operating on cycles just like the moon and the sun. The events that occur, they're not just anomalies that are like, oops, where did that come from? We don't know. Like, no, they're everything's running on a cycle.
I'm telling you, I don't know why the cycles. I'm talking about how the precession of the cycles don't make any sense when you're talking about a third factor, not another factor, not being implemented, right? So,
like what? What's the third factor? Like, I don't. What are you adding extra?
I don't know. Maybe the Earth spinning. Maybe the Earth being on its
no. That's a problem. That's a problem. That's the problem, though. You're adding stuff that doesn't need to be added. So a sky gazer, like the ancients, they were just looking up at the sky and saying, "Hey, this thing is happening. Let's document that." Oh, the other light in the sky is moving. Let's document that. So they're just writing down everything they see. And sometimes events occur in so many years, and they're like, "Okay, this event occurred." Then it happens again in the X number of years, and like, "Okay, this event occurred again." So I bet you in another however many years it occurred, and it will happen again. And they're on cycles. So the sun, like I said, is on its yearly cycle, and whatever events happen within that year that it's moving across from Cancer to Capricorn, that's fine. It's happening within that time frame. But then there's greater cycles that are happening where these events occur. That people just looking at the sky, writing down these events. They're not like, well, we have to think of the Earth as a globe now because we see something happening. Like, no, you don't. You just write down what you see.
Right, and then you have other cycles that we've never. So the ancients also wrote down the locations of the stars and how they correlate to the buildings that they constructed during that time because they had certain beliefs.
So
and
what?
Now we can look at those same writings and determine that the sky has changed based on our perspective of where things were and where they are now. So that
is it? Yeah, are the stars?
Cycle?
No, are the there's certain. I don't know what you call them. I guess epicycles that things are on. You know, you could think of them like there's time frames that you want to put them in, like 10 years, 100 years, 1,000 years. You know what I mean? And then it can probably get exponential as you go far. But then there's going to be a limit to however many years that actually extends to, and then everything's going to go back to its original place. But then it's like these other cycles that are within the ones that we're talking about are happening throughout. So they're not like anomalies, or they're just all cycles within a bigger cycle. Yeah,
right.
That's all it is, and you're noticing them as it's a pattern, owlishness. That's all it is. People are seeing the patterns that happen, you know, with the stars and such, and things repeat. That's what more do you want from that?
No, it's not. It doesn't repeat in terms of the stars.
It does, dude. It does.
So we have a shift. We have a shift of where those celestial bodies are, but then we can tie it back to celestial navigation when it comes to using a sextant.
Dude. Yeah. So celestial navigation has to deal. Celestial navigation has to deal with the idea that a spherical coordinate system was derived from the celestial sphere. The celestial sphere in which you're envisioning the sky with perspective, and you're seeing things in the sky look like they're angling at a specific angle towards how the observer's seeing it, and it's going to make the idea that there's a sphere of infinite radius, right? With the celestial sphere being like a dome that's above you with the stars of the sky. So there's a coordinate system that was developed with longitude and latitude, and so the celestial navigation was derived from the celestial sphere, not the terrestrial sphere. They don't think they're standing on a ball. They just derived a spherical coordinate system based on the celestial sphere.
Right, but during different times of year, if you're looking at a celestial if you're looking at a celestial navigation chart and you're looking at like dip correction and you're looking at the location.
Oh my God, bro! I'm trying to tell you something. You got to get this owlishness. You have to. because the spherical coordinate system was based on the celestial sphere. Sky gazing, yeah? They're seeing stars and stuff moving in the sky. So that has nothing to do with the Earth being a globe or a sphere. Nothing to do with it.
So I'm presenting, just like you present anecdotal proof, I am also presenting anecdotal proof. So on a celestial navigation chart, you have a difference in...
Anecdotal?
Oh, yeah. Who said we're doing that?
So these are observations you can go out and see. Like this.
Yeah, and I can also go out and see. I can also go out and see that. And let me finish my point about the celestial navigation chart, because I'm not.
It's not anecdotal. So.
Right. So this evidence says that during certain times of the year, the distance or the angle that you see these stars are this, and then during a different part of the year, specifically spring to summer and fall to winter, there's a different angle that you calculate these celestial bodies.
Yeah. So what? So what?
Right. So then you can't say that they're on and there's a cycle right there, right? But then you also can't sit there and go, well, back when they originally viewed the stars, the celestial bodies, and wrote down where they were, and they've suddenly moved a certain amount since that time, you can't say that there are two cycles happening at the same time.
What makes you think that there's not going to be more cycles that they can't write down? What makes you think they can't do that? You're making it sound like people are just like, well, we don't know why that's happening. How did that get there? Like, do you think they're even asking that? No. They're just documenting what they see.
Right, and
that's all you can do. It's not so much anecdotal. Yeah, it is when you're listening to somebody else say that these things have occurred. But what's happening is when you can go outside and see this for yourself, it's not anecdotal anymore. You can make your observations.
Right, and there's still no explanation as to why during different parts of the year you have to use a different angle to calculate your location.
Yeah, because the thing has moved. It's not in the place where it used to be. And based on greater cycles than just the yearly, like I said, based on greater cycles other than the sun cycle or the moon cycle, yeah, the stars have their own cycle. So it's not necessarily like the way you're describing it.
So then if that were true, and there was a precession of the stars that changed over thousands of years, we would have to change the chart every so often to.
But they haven't, though. That's the point.
Yeah,
I know. That's what I'm saying. They haven't changed it.
I'm just bringing it to the fact that like none of this describes anything to do with nothing that we can't say it's happening within a cycle. It's everything cyclical in nature. Everything you're describing is not like an anomaly. Oops, how did that happen? Like we didn't account for that. No, everybody like they know that things are happening on cycles, man. Like
the fact
your argument doesn't stand. Like I don't know what you're trying to reason here. Are you saying that? No, it doesn't. Everything's on a cycle. How can you say something that's like a lunar eclipse that doesn't happen every year? It might like in your region, right? In your specific location. Let's say it doesn't happen, but it happens in Italy or whatever. Like how can you say that's not happening on a cycle? What's your justification for that?
Because there is something that is occurring, right? So we're not going to, because the boogeyman is the round rotating Earth. We're going to say something is occurring that is changing the cycle, or not changing the cycle, but is interfering or making the cycle different.
No, dude, because it's predictable. It's predictable. You know when it's going to happen.
Because we know that we are rotating and we are also on a cycle.
That's what you want to say. You want to say that. No, that's incorrect. The stars are moving. That's what's happening.
Owlish,
you can't insert Earth moving just because you feel like it. You have to justify why that is true. You haven't done that because the stars are moving and the observer is only making observations of the sky. He doesn't know that he's on something that's moving.
It can't be the case.
Owlish, just real quick. Let me just say this real quick. Just real quick. The fact that this is a predicted pattern and it does
come around in time like clockwork, destroys your heliocentric model in thinking that if you're spinning and moving at all these different speeds through each, the rotation and the trajectory and the Milky Way in itself, like all these speeds and movements, the fact that we have a perfect, observable, predicted position of these celestial objects, it destroys your heliocentric model, because you cannot say that it helps your case, because if I was to travel for billions of miles in one direction, okay, over time, and still see the same thing in my view above me, then you have to be an asshat to believe that you've moved an inch when you're seeing the same things over that course of time. I'll shut up.
So I guess my point was, don't worry. My point was, Owlishness, that you don't have a way to justify that the Earth is in motion just by looking at the night sky and things that happen on cycles, or any way to determine that the Earth is in motion. That's no way to determine anything. So you just asserted that the Earth is in motion. You can't say that because you don't know that. You know that you're standing on a stationary. You know that you're standing on a stationary plane and you see the stars moving across the sky. That's what you do know. To assume that the Earth is in motion is your assumption.
Again, we can't have two different cycles occurring at the same time. We can't have stars.
They're not
kind of moving.
That's not. They're not. You're making up this contradiction in your own mind. There isn't any.
No,
There's not a paradox. Yes, you are. You are, because no, there isn't. You're making it up. It does not exist. Everybody, let me put it to you this way. The Saros cycle is an ancient cycle created by, I think it was either the Chaldeans or the Babylonians. I think it was the Chaldeans. But they created this cycle of it. It's an abstraction of like a model of how the heavenlies move in accordance to the lunar eclipses, solar eclipses. So when the solar eclipses occur, they were documenting like all this information, but that doesn't mean every year it's going to happen in that same geographic location. What it means is wherever this event will occur, it will happen in a specific place on Earth. So their abstraction was good for approximating solar eclipses, and they did that. Yeah, they did that with the information that even NASA can't replicate. They borrowed that information from the Saros cycle. You can look this up. Yeah, you can look it up. You know that NASA's utilizing the ancients' information of sky gazing. And they're using that abstraction that you think is showing that the Earth is spinning to show you that they were only just documenting what happens in the sky. So the Saros cycle is a great way to demonstrate how you're incorrect. These phenomena, sky phenomena that occur, are happening on cycles that repeat.
But
you're debunked, dude. Like, there's nothing. You can't come up with the idea that the Earth is spinning and in some way it's leading. It just can't be flat. Like, it's your wishful thinking.
But is it not the case that because of structures built in ancient times that were supposed to reflect the locations of stars that have since no longer reflect those locations?
You're basing your logic on that. That's what you're resting your logic on, and it's fallacious. Because if you're thinking that's a builder, bro, you're thinking that a builder is going to be able to have knowledge of the epicycles, like these grander cycles. You think they would know that, whatever it is, however, whatever scale we get to at the highest scale. Yeah, at the highest scale, I think it's like 28,000 years or whatever. They would only predict it to a certain distance away. But what if it returns back to that spot? So then you're debunked. That it would stand to reason that whatever that cycle ended up to be, it would repeat back to the same location where they started from. So even if it moved away from your supposed location, it would still return back to it.
No. It's not the case that it might move away. It's the case that it has moved away.
It will return. It will return. Did you talk about that part? It will come back?
No, because like I just said, you can't have.
Yeah, see, you're not saying then you're not saying the truth. The truth is these cycles that repeat happen to come back because they're cyclical in nature, so they'll just repeat and come back again. It's not just going to diverge and then stay divergent away from the where it started from. As many cycles have been doing that over the years, but you're going through a mountain range or something.
So the logical, yeah, probably, yeah. Yeah, I'm in the mountains. So.
That's garbage.
Am I back, or can you not hear me?
Oh, you're back now.
Did I get disconnected? I think I did.
Do we want to hear it? No. Not really. Bro, I was been gone this long, and this is what she comes back with. Trash, bro.
We could bring in the Captain Obvious here. He thinks he's like a multi-billion-dollar European international man of mystery. So now that NASA's funding is going to get cut, European space agencies have said that their mission's over.
Hey, how are you doing, man? It's been a while. By the way, I love the new role on your profile. It was funny time they gave it to you.
My goodness, who is that?
What the
squawker?
hell?
You got a squawker?
Yeah, you got a secret role on your page, and I kind of dig it.
Dude, like your mic is hot shit. You could maybe ask government for their subsidy.
Yeah, my apologies. Yeah, I'm currently driving a bike. I don't have access to my great bike at the moment.
Is he gushing over you? Like it sounds like.
Yeah.
Great, you have so many things, dude.
Yeah. So basically, Crit is basically, if I ever have a bad day, I don't feel bad about myself, I just point and laugh, basically. That's a joke, by the way. Crit, how are you doing? I hope you're feeling well these days.
Yeah, I'm hanging in there, dude. What do you think about European Space Agency canceling all their missions because NASA funding dried up? You can write a check.
Really?
You can put your
ongoing missions.
Yeah, it's over. Yeah, apparently, if NASA cuts their funding, the European Space Agency is done. It's over.
Crit, before I respond, please go to the article and read it again.
Yeah,
and I'll come back so don't make a complete fool of yourself.
The mission is over. Without NASA, the European Space Agency is done.
Actually, you're incorrect as usual, Crit. And that's not surprising because hand reading is not your strongest suit. Only a few missions are cancelled, not everything. You didn't read the article.
They can't do it. Without NASA, there is no European Space Agency because there's no money. You're broke.
Have you also read
the whole continent is busted. It's over.
Do you know how DSAs get funded, right? Mostly?
Yeah, it's without NASA funding, it's over. It's done.
Well, actually, it's only specific collaboration missions. Great. You really need to start reading the sources.
It's all over.
You have not learned anything in those months. It's sad.
It's over, dude.
Yeah, I know it's over for your argument. I know that.
Yeah, but NASA budget cuts have put all of the European space programs in jeopardy, including their flagship mission, the Mars rover.
Great.
It's over.
The Mars rover was actually a NASA mission, not an ESA mission. We even get
it's over. It's done.
That's
so basically, yeah.
You're done.
You're right. I'm sorry, I was mistaken. For some reason, I said it was a NASA. I'm not sure.
Right there. NASA budget already troubled. Flagship Mars rover, the flagship of all the great achievements that European space agencies have already brought to humanity. It's over. It's over. It's done.
Let me know when you're done splurging and I can...
The free handouts are over. The gravy train is done.
The only cancel missions are the ExoMars rover, the Orbit, the Lunar Lander, and the Rover Human Spaceflight program. We still have going the Peppy Columbine mission,
it's over.
the Pyramas mission, the Hughes mission. We actually are going to develop our own Mars Express instead. So
this is why it's fun being American to point and laugh at Europe. You guys can't even do anything without endless amounts of handouts.
At the moment, Chris?
Hands out.
How's your economy doing, Chris? How's the dollar at the moment, Chris? You sure you want to make that statement? You want to die on that hill?
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, could you tell me what the current inflation rate is in the US?
What is he from?
Yeah, you got. Yeah, this guy, like, he thinks somehow Europe has something going for it. That was like 200 years ago.
Oh, my friend. You know that currently the US economy is in the shit, right?
What third world country are you from?
Learn. It is kind of sad. Hopefully, at one point, you will read an actual newspaper.
Yeah, it's over, dude.
What
the European space program is done.
Sure, Chris. Sure.
Am I coming through, guys? Without paying?
Yeah, you are. He just is going to ignore you.
Yeah, what shithole country are you from? He won't even say where he's from, dude. Go ahead, go. Where's he from, Chris?
So why
do you
does
know?
our government have to ruin everything?
Hold on, there's real
That's so annoying.
Yeah, I know where he's from, but I don't want to say because, like,
you can say I live in Switzerland. That's not a problem.
Oh wow!
Holy shit, you're Mexican?
Damn, sorry to hear that, bro.
Yes, it sucks to be one of the strongest economies with the best healthcare and the best education level. That's so problematic. Oh.
I'm speaking English right now, bro.
To be honest, saying that Switzerland is trash, Switzerland is like amazing. The US is in most parts compared to us a third world country.
Yeah,
like, would you compare education level? Would you like to compare basically average capita per person, average education level, average income?
The only thing you might have on us is maybe some hot bitches, but that's about it, bro.
Like right now, inside your own worldview, if Switzerland went to the moon today, they would be 60 years behind America. That's just
no, we prefer to control the banking world. That's more our thing.
So, like, you're Ferengi.
Did you know that Switzerland,
the Ferengi of the European Union,
U.S. economy in less than a day if you just drop on the bombs?
I can't name a single person from Switzerland, bro. It's tough.
Yes, because you're not educated. That's not surprising.
He just said that in Switzerland or in Europe, the Switzerland are the Ferengi of this space lore.
Name one person from Switzerland.
Well, we are the grand players of banking to a certain extent, especially modern banking. We're also quite known for our watchmaking. Beautiful Alps, though, as well. We have a lot of things going on.
Name one person from Switzerland. Name one person from Switzerland.
Especially for you, we're gonna be a little bit more niche. Gerald Genta. Gerald Genta, you're welcome.
Who the fuck is that?
Yeah, I can imagine you are not aware who that is. That's
no one
actually, it's well known that Switzerland, they import most watches from China, and then they just bring it to Switzerland, and they add labels and change something on the watch, and they just add the label "Made in Switzerland," made here.
In case of a lot of the cheaper brands, that's correct. Not in the high segment. They import
it from China. Most of everything they import everything, and then they just add a label.
Something different. But
Swiss made, but it's made in China.
He named a nobody though.
60-70% of all the parts have to be produced or designed in Switzerland, and in case of the cheaper models, something you can afford, it can have
design in Switzerland, but made in China.
Yes. Have you ever been to our factories? I presume you haven't.
Have you?
Uh-huh.
You think Switzerland produces? All of the watches to send all across the world? You really think that those factories produce all of those watches? They have that.
I know you're not that
much
bright,
manpower.
as I clearly made the difference. Our luxury brands
Yeah,
are
it says
produced for the
Switzerland
most
people
part
hate
in
Switzerland.
Switzerland.
They go like this article here: the high cost of living, the impact of immigration, labor market, the destruction of social cohesion, the cost of and availability of childcare left the country devastated.
Yeah, and we still have to contend with a few poor people like yourself in our nation, Craig. That's correct. And those are a bit disgruntled.
Xenophobia,
You know,
the high level of xenophobia among Swiss, who's prejudice against foreigners. Your whole country's built on tourism, and you're xenophobic. Imagine the contradiction you live in. Your whole country's built on tourism, and you're xenophobic.
Well, why would you? Of course, your country's great. The more foreigners you add to it, it sucks.
Can you imagine him as a student? No, this ain't good enough. It needs to show me what I want you to show me.
Hey, I've come in here quite honestly saying.
Well, you're not a fucking student. That's for goddamn sure.
Why should I appeal to yours?
You're just like you mouth off when we present something. Show me a model. Well, here's the elevation profile. That's not good enough. What the fuck do you want, dude?
Well, that's why we're never going to show you model, because you'll always say that. You'll always say that.
Towards the authority that presents models. Common sense.
What?
Yeah.
Where is that as a standard? There's
no worries.
Standard.
Can you show me a model that makes predictions?
I'm not going to appeal to this authority because
no.
I can't even see a diagram.
Show me a model. No, a diagram is not a model. Are you thinking diagrams are models, dude?
No.
Is that what you think? Oh no. Okay. So you want a model that makes predictions. I want to see the globe model that makes predictions. Why don't you post it for us in the side chat?
Instead of like pushing it back on the globe, why can't you just be the authority?
Because it's a double standard. You're not the authority that said that there's a requirement for a model to be produced, dude.
Yeah. All right, so you just don't want to. You're just not going to produce.
Again, your standard is not like the standard.
Do you think models prove things?
Let me say this, says who I'll throw it to you. It's like he's imagining like it's his tea party. You know, little girls have tea parties. Like, well, I'm in charge, so I make the rules. You don't make the rules here, dude. This idea that you must have them, you need a model that is no standard in reality, bro.
Watch and write down on a piece of paper. These guys.
Yeah, look at the text chat.
Model, they refuse.
Arlo, look at the text chat.
Could you get a pen and paper, like, and just the most basic
look at the text chat
of what you think the Earth looks like?
Arlo. Look at the text chat.
But I want to address that. I want to address that.
Can you look at the text chat?
And draw a picture
I want to
of what you think the Earth looks like.
Fucking hell, dude. Can you look at the goddamn text chat, bro? Fuck's sake, dude.
Got him. But I want to address
that was
what you're
simple.
Saying,
like,
get a crayon and a piece of paper. I'll draw a fucking circle. That's what I'll be drawing. All right. Now you draw.
Let me hold on.
What you think in the most childish way?
We heard you, bro. God damn, Yappuccino. I'm gonna address this quickly.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna address this quickly. Says who? I'll draw you the flat Earth as soon as you draw me the universe.
Paper.
Put it in the chat. Let's take a look. He's still yapping?
I'll draw you a fucking circle, mate. You draw what you think the Earth looks like.
No, hold on. Did you hear what I asked you? The universe. Can you draw the universe?
No, I can't.
Okay. Hey, thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, we're not going to draw the flat Earth either.
I'm not an expert
for the exact same reason. Hold on. For the exact same. Why can't you draw the universe?
Because I am not an expert on the universe.
Even if you were an expert on the universe, how would you know what it looks like, like as a whole?
You're comparing the universe to this planet?
What?
Yeah.
Why can't you draw this planet?
Listen, for all intents and purposes, the Earth that we stand on is considered the known universe. That's all we know.
Right,
We don't know anything outside of.
Is draw a circle or draw.
Dudes, I hate when you don't pay attention, bro. Just
He's
listen.
not paying attention.
For all intents and purposes, the Earth that you're standing on is the known universe. Yeah. So it's the same.
So get your crayon. Get your crayon.
Well, I'm asking. I'll get one right now. I'll draw a fucking circle for you.
Well, that's why would you just?
You can
would you accept it if we just randomly drew a circle on a piece of paper? You'd accept that. I don't think you would.
Yeah, I'll draw a circle. I want you to draw what you think the shape of the
we
Earth.
heard you already, bro. Look, I'm trying to tell you, for the exact same reason you said you can't draw the universe, we cannot draw reality. How do you draw the whole shape of reality, Arlo? This has to connect. So I can throw it to you.
Do you have no arms?
Hold on, Arlo. You're starting to spiral, bro. You're starting to spiral.
Yeah, but
how do you draw, Arlo? It's not simple. Listen to what I'm saying, please, so I can throw what this says here because I know he wants to get in as well. How do you draw the entire shape of reality?
Draw something that indicates.
No.
Basic level, what you think.
Answer the question, dude. We're kicking you out. I'm asking you in good faith, so that we can get to the end of this.
If you're kicking everyone out and banning everyone that,
he's just fixated on that.
Yeah. You gotta pay attention, bro. One more time. How do you draw the entire shape of reality?
With a pen.
Okay.
Good boy.
Yeah.
He's just kicking his head, bro. He's not gonna fucking give you what you want.
With a crayon.
Okay, great. So you have a crayon. We're gonna draw your reality.
Yeah.
What does that look like?
As a good faith experiment, why don't you get a crayon and I get a crayon? We'll both draw.
No,
you can't do it.
We'll both
You
draw
can't do it. You're retarded.
What good would that do? Let's say I draw. Well, who cares what I draw? And then we test it in reality, and it's not that. Then what do we do?
He doesn't. The point I'd like to ultimately make is that it cannot be done, Arlo. Even if the Earth is a globe, it's a object within a super large place called the universe, which you can't necessarily leave and see from some outside point of view. That would be your reality. Hold on, Arlo. Hold on, because you're missing the point. You're missing the point. You're missing the point, bro. Do not speak through me, please. Because I'm trying to keep it real simple for you. I think he's slightly triggered. You can't see the universe as a whole. You cannot draw reality as a whole because you can't see it like that. So there's no way you could, even if you had a pen and a paper or a crayon, where would you even begin to draw? What would you even start with? Your imagination? You don't actually have an observation that you can draw. You don't have the entire view of reality anywhere to put down on paper. Now, if that's the case for your worldview, that's also the case for our worldview. This is reality. You can't leave. The flat Earth is not like the globe where it's an object in a solar system, which you could leave and look back at. It's more like the universe, which you cannot leave and you can't see as a whole. So asking us to draw reality is kind of retarded because in your own worldview, it cannot be done. So it can't be done, bro. We do not know the shape of reality as a whole. Sorry. We're going to move on. We're going to move on. This is a moot point.
Well, you do understand surface, right? You understand depth.
That's the flat part.
If you drill into the ground,
that's the flat part.
You can look up, but you're going to throw that out. Okay.
No.
So, and you've got width and breadth.
Can you address what I said though, please? To show that you understood what I said.
Well, I think I have addressed it. Like, I mean, you
you're trying to move forward to say, well, yeah, but we have surface and depth. Well,
surely,
that's what I'm saying.
Surely you can try to, with your best effort,
bro,
draw down a shape with form of what you think the planet is that we live on.
We're not on a planet, which I just said. So you're not paying attention.
We're not on a planet.
No, we're not on a planet. Okay, why don't you do this? Why don't you do us a favor?
So are you saying that I can't draw something down, even a diagram? I can't draw an image of what I perceive the Earth to be or what it might be.
No. Hold on. Arlo,
you can't do
draw the universe for us. Watch this. I just want you to do this because since you think this can be done, draw the universe right now. Put it in the chat. Let's take a look. We're going to move on. This is getting so painful.
I'll draw one right now. I'll literally go get a fucking pen. All right, and I want you to do the same, mate. Do the same.
Well, let's take a look at your clown image that you're about to put in the chat. We're going to make fun of you as well. Go ahead.
Yeah, go for it. I'd love you to make fun of me for drawing a fucking.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Why would you draw a circle? Why would you draw a circle?
Because I believe the Earth is
dude, no. Arlo, take the earwax out of your brain. Draw the universe.
No, it's a thought experiment. I'm drawing.
No, draw the universe.
And form of the Earth is.
Arlo. Is he even listening, Arlo?
No, he's not, bro.
He's not listening to you. Arlo, draw the universe.
Not the entire universe. Everything in it. Everything in it.
No, I can't.
Let's see them speak to him.
Wait. Leaf, mute up.
Leaf. Oh, I got him.
I'll go get a fucking crayon and do it, mate.
Yeah, do it. Grab the crayon and draw the universe.
No, I can't draw the universe. I can draw what I think the shape of the Earth is.
No, not the Earth. Not the Earth,
bro.
Draw the universe, Arlo, or you're banned.
No, I can't.
No, don't fucking ban him.
He said he can't. He said
Why not? Why not?
Because I don't have the understanding of the location of the stars and the planets. Like I haven't been educated on that, so I wouldn't be able to.
Well, you just give it a try. You know, like just you got a arm and a pen. Like you can try it.
Yeah. Just try it. Tell us what you think it looks like. Yeah, just like what you expect us to do.
I think you're comparing. You're making a false equivalence between the.
No.
That's exactly the same.
That's you. You're. I've already went over this. You're not listening, Arlo.
I'm listening.
No, you're not.
It's crazy that you're conflating the universe with our planet. Which you say is a planet.
Yeah, it just shows you're not listening.
It's not a planet, though. I'm not on a planet, bro. You're trying to impose upon us a viewpoint which we don't adhere to.
That the Earth is a sphere.
Yeah, you are. You're imposing upon us to present the Earth to you as if it's an object embedded in a larger space, and we're not claiming that that's the case. It's a strong.
So what are you going to draw then,
Arlo?
Straight line.
I've already said this very clearly. The flat Earth is not like the globe. I said this very clearly. So you have a globe, which is not reality as a whole. It's an object within the universe, which would be like the reality for a globe earther. For flat Earth, it's not an object in the universe. It is the universe. It is the place. It is reality. So for the exact same reason you can't draw the universe is the same reason we can't draw the flat.
You agree. You're not even arguing that. You agree
dude,
Earth with
you have to listen before you speak because you're not understanding what I'm trying to tell you. It's very simple. Just draw the universe, bro, and get it over with. Hurry up.
I don't know if the audience could take much more of this, bro. Like honestly, he's not.
Stop yapping. Get your crayon. Get your crayons out and draw. You said you could do it. Just do it.
If T-Dub couldn't speak to him, bro, and he's from Australia, I don't think anybody can. That's just what I'm.
He's too low IQ. He's also not even listening.
He's like that other guy, bro, that you talked to that last time. But you actually left your gym, and you were showing him. It's exactly the same as that guy.
I actually thought Arlo was going to be like good faith. This is turning into bad faith really, really fast.
Yeah.
Why is it
he's like
faith?
that.
You're just
saying that. Dude.
Are you drawing?
You say it, so it doesn't.
Are you drawing? Are you drawing?
Yeah, I'm like looking for an app on my phone to draw a circle for you.
Just use your notes.
He's gonna do the.
Wait, why would you draw a circle?
He's drawing.
Why would you?
He's drawing.
Are you drawing the Earth or the universe?
I'm drawing a circle for you, mate.
No.
Is it the Earth or the universe that you're drawing?
All right, hang on.
Arlo, he's not listening.
Dude. Yeah, he's not, dude. He's gone, bro. This guy's cooked.
You're fucking cooked, bro. Arlo, are you drawing the universe or the Earth?
Drawing a circle, mate.
Yeah.
That's just disingenuous, man.
You're done.
Well, that's okay. So,
bro.
Arlo, if you're going to draw a circle, that would be a flat Earth.
Got him. I think he's starting to realize his point is cooked. Like he said multiple times, I can't draw the universe.
He's disingenuous. He wants to be a weasel.
Yeah, you got roasted, bro. You're done.
Miggy, do you know what he can do? He can make a elevation profile from Brisbane to Perth. And
he's already saying that 2,000 miles is not good enough to show him that the Earth is flat within that distance. No, he says no. It's not,
let's not forget
2,000. So we're not even gonna like this guy. I don't know. He's so far in though. He's
like I need 5,000.
I need 5,000 miles. No, not 2.
Yeah. But the reason he can't draw the entire universe is because there's too many unknowns. Right? Even for the so-called experts, the astrophysicists, cosmologists, all that. There's too many unknowns. Right? And why can't we have that as well? Why can't that be our reason why we can't draw you the entirety of reality?
Thank you, Tito.
I can give him an easier task.
Everything.
He can draw the Amazonia, that jungle in Latin America. He can draw how that look like. We explored all that stuff. He can draw how Sahara look like and how that desert in Argentina look like. There is 7 biggest. He can draw that deserts how they look like.
He's kind of like addressing it in the text channel. He's saying your view conflates the Earth with the whole universe. He's been saying that. So, he's been saying that the Earth is considered like flat Earth as the universe that you're standing on right now. It's all of reality. There's nothing more than where we're at. There's no outside of this place. You can't leave this place and go, oh, yeah, we've left this place. Now we're looking back from like an orthographic view of where we're at. Oh, look at that. There, flat Earth looks like this. You can't go to the place that you can do that.
How many times do you have to tell him before it just seeps in? There's too much earwax in his brain.
Yeah, he's had this conversation before. He just doesn't get it.
I think this is why a lot of guys get so tripped up, because they actually think flat Earth is in a solar system. Their version of flat Earth is fucking trash, and then no wonder why they're stuck. It's like, if you could remove those bad ideas from them, they'd actually be 10 steps ahead. But instead, they're clinging on to their own trash ideas of a flat Earth.
Yeah, he still sucks on the dummy. Exactly. He still sucks on the dummy.
Yeah. But it's like, what I find interesting, they're also kind of pointing at their own idea and calling that dumb. You're calling your own ideas stupid. No one offered you this idea that it's flat Earth in the universe. In fact, we're telling you it's not that. And you're still like, you're saying it's what you're saying is not true. Dude, you got to take your version of flat Earth and throw it in the garbage, bro.
He won't let go.
Well, if he wants to know what reality looks like, all he has to do is open up his basement door and leave it. Yeah.
But I need to see what it looks like as a whole. You never needed to see the universe, and you believe in that as a default belief. That's a core belief, and you don't have a model for that. You don't have a explanation for everything in the universe. You don't know what that looks like. These are weird. I always get I feel the need to chime in when people have double standards like this. You must draw, but I won't draw. I need a model that explains everything, but I don't have a model that explains everything. Rules for thee, but not for me. I'm always going to cut that shit off, bro. Welcome, B-Man.
Oh, jeez, dude. Yeah, once again, he said he wanted a model. Gave him one. Elevation profile. That's not a model. What the fuck does it say in chat then?
That's crazy. I actually thought he was here in good faith. I was so wrong about that.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine if you have some kind of map and sun above, and then you make construction about the sun, how it's circulating? You make some kind of machine. Do you understand me? Some kind of construction of the model, and then you see, look, this is going around now. It's going around the South Latin America, now it's going Asia, and then you explain the moon and everything, and then you say, look, this is the flat Earth model, or to show the reality.
Oh, here's another reason why you don't give them models, Chad. Because they're going to do exactly what he did. Nah, I don't like it. Right, Mickey?
Yeah.
I don't like it.
That's not a model. That's not what I requested. That's not what I want.
Yeah, dude, you don't have to give them what they're asking for.
It literally says, and in Google, when you put it in, is elevation profile model. Yes, an elevation profile can be considered a type of model. There it is. I mean, what else do you... It says so there.
I don't like that one. Okay, bro.
Don't like that
You're
one.
never going to be satisfied, so we don't need to... We're not going to give you any...
Right. Yeah, if your argument is that elevation profile is not enough to prove the Earth is flat, then show me the elevation profile for the globe. Where is that then?